Welcome to Daily Persuasion, Episode 3 with Joshua Lisec. If you have been on the internet, you know that they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the pets of the people that live there. This is a fantastic little introduction to some juicy lessons we're going to be pulling from this week's news. Last night, as of the time of this recording, I went to Springfield, Ohio. I live next door in a city called Dayton. Dayton, Springfield next to each other. I went to Springfield, Ohio for a town hall that Vivek Ramaswamy co-hosted with Tiffany Justice from Moms for Liberty. And it was an opportunity for local leaders, citizens, both native to Springfield and also Haitians, immigrants, who wanted to come and make sure that their voice was heard, as well as those minority citizens who have been lumped in with Haitians and are for the first time in their lives being subjected to racial slurs. It's a rough situation over in Springfield. What I have found interesting is the persuasion plays that are at work, and they are quite subtle, and you can learn things from them. Now, first and foremost, I was having a conversation with someone today about using titles and subtitles for books. We were spitballing different ideas for titles and subtitles for this particular individual's book, this aspiring author. And I pointed out how one of the most interesting templates for a commercially viable book's title and subtitle, commercially viable means it's going to sell a whole lot of copies, is where the title itself, in a few words, makes a bombastic claim, over the top, controversial, can't look away, gotta double take, what type of a claim. And then the subtitle is a bit more measured and descriptive and is the actual value of the book itself, sometimes in how-to language if it's self-help. But it's the title that gets you to look and look again. And then we realize that that is exactly what Donald J. Trump did at the early September debate with Kamala Harris, and subsequently the conversations around the Springfield situation. And that crystallized for me last night when the first person who spoke after Vivek at the Springfield town hall was Phil Plummer. Phil Plummer is the former sheriff of Montgomery County and now a state senator in Ohio, working from Clark County, which is the county where Springfield is. Now, it's interesting that there were, at any given time, 4 police drones flying above the buildings, the alleys, and the streets where the town hall was held. Can't be too careful these days. Returning to Phil Plummer and the lesson and the now famous meme, you understand that the hook for this story, the title of what's going on in Springfield, is they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the pets of the people who live there. That is, as far as I can tell, truthful hyperbole. It's truthful hyperbole. And the reason it's hyperbole is, going back to March, there have been reports, there have been phone calls, there have been police reports, police calls, 911s, there have been text messages, there have been a substantial number of reports of, quote, domesticated animals, unquote, being taken, cooked, and eaten by the Haitian migrant worker population of Springfield, who between 15 and 20,000 of them have been brought into the area of Clark County, which Greater Springfield alone is only about 50, 60,000 people. So that is a population bomb that has been dropped on the people. That's rough. And a lot of moving pieces in place here. But the mainstream press, the national news, the global social media landscape of billions of people, nobody cared about what was going on in Springfield, Ohio, until a bombastic, over-the-top, controversial, can't look away, gotta hear it again book title came. So what's so interesting about this instant commanding of attention? It's a guaranteed attention, a claim like that. Now, it does seem like there might be a little bit of mass hysteria going on in Springfield. It does seem like that, as is the case in every small town when there are rumors that have an initial basis in fact. They can be blown up out of proportion. Now, we do know, and we have, of course, numerous instances of this on video, of cats and dogs being cooked and eaten in Haiti. It's just what they do. We've also seen videos of that happening with people, together with honor duels with machetes. One of the people last night spoke about how a Haitian wielding a machete chased her little girl through the Walmart parking lot. I don't want my family having to worry about Haitians with machetes chasing them in parking lots. I don't know what else to tell you. That said, coming back to the situation, the facts and figures like 20,000 and 50,000, and there are also being accusations being leveled at local businesses to Springfield that they collaborated with the federal government and immigration authorities to bring in these between 15 and 20,000 Haitians into the community to take jobs that were not advertised to the locals, and they paid less and they have fewer benefits, but those migrant workers can access numerous federal welfare benefits, housing, healthcare, and beyond, food stamps and beyond, that even the locals weren't having access to. Understanding that Springfield has been struggling as a city, as has Dayton, as have many mid-size B tier and C tier cities all across the Rust Belt and then the greater Midwest. All of this has been happening. And it feels to the people like citizens are second class. And migrant workers and migrant idlers from a place that is known for eating cats, dogs, and people get first cut, first choice, first dibs. That's going to make a lot of people really stoken mad. But you notice, everything I've just described is in the facts-based part of the brain. The Springfield News-Sun had been reporting what's been going on in Springfield. Even the salacious details about there being jobs that locals claimed were not advertised to them, and then all of a sudden they find that people that they'd never met before, some of whom don't speak English and only French or Haitian Creole, are getting these great jobs at these great companies. Now they pay a little bit less, but it makes up for the benefit, right? So the employers are profit seeking. They are human trafficking for profit. That is, without exaggeration, what is happening here. But all of those details that the Springfield News-Sun has been reporting for months did not garner any national attention. Certainly not any town halls. Now, the town hall with Vivek and Tiffany, it was max capacity. They had an overflow room at an event center in downtown Springfield, and there were between 100 and 150 people out on the sidewalk outside waiting, trying to get in. And the press was there as well. So the Persuasion Lesson, that this has become one of the biggest stories in the world, the number one story on social media for the past week and a half or so, is it is a bombastic, yes, somewhat exaggerated claim, but it's not unbelievable. That's what's key. It's not unbelievable because this is a population of people that is known for the unusual cuisine, not just of cats and dogs, but geese, ducks, for example. And the excuses for it are quite strange. First, people say, oh, that's obviously not happening. It's been debunked. We'll talk about that in a second. And then they'll say, oh, okay, well, maybe there's police reports, but there's not video. There's not pictures. Oh, okay, so there is a video of somebody roasting a cat in a backyard in Dayton, but they're not from Haiti, they're from Democratic Republic of the Congo. And it's not Dayton, it's Springfield. Well, okay, sure, maybe there's a city council meeting from back in March where this is all being reported. Multiple instances, multiple complaints, and there's police reports, there's 911 calls. But where's the video? Where's the video? Where's the video? And so what's happening is the debunking is being debunked. That's so fascinating about the persuasion that's happening here. When you look behind the news, when you see what's happening, you realize that every news story, everything that happens in the world is two sides of persuaders attempting to entrench their side even deeper into their beliefs, even to commit even deeper into the tribalism of that side, and trying to peel off anybody who is undecided which side they're going to be on. So the two-party system that the United States federal government and local governments and state governments have, it maps onto every single issue, and that there's two sides. Now, in reality is not really bifurcated. It's not always black and white. Many topics have shades of gray, sometimes 50 or more. And yet, when it comes to persuasion, it's an on and off switch. It's binary. It's 0 or 1. It's yes or no. In sales, we like to say 99% yes is 100% no. I'd love to do this is no. Let me talk to my spouse, but I want to do it. That's a no. Persuasion is sales. Sales is persuasion. Politics is persuasion. Politics is sales. Sales is marketing. It's all together. And it's all human psychology. Now notice, to once again, like I did yesterday, quote, the ineffable, the unassailable, the uncancelable, Scott Adams. Persuasion in a world where facts don't matter. They don't. Attention matters. And whoever can steal the attention is going to win. One last point that I want to point out is that a reporter from Politico I spoke with last night, in Springfield, I overheard him say the following: "It's been debunked." Notice the passive voice. This is key. The more you understand persuasion, the more you will naturally pick up little things like this. It's been debunked. What is that? That's passive voice. Now, this is a journalist, a reporter, a gumshoe type on the streets. The type of person that you would expect would actually go and investigate door-to-door talking to people. You would think, using the passive voice. Had he personally debunked any of this? No. Has anyone at Politico? Not that I'm aware of. It's been debunked. Who debunked it? Well, that's an interesting question, isn't it? That's an interesting question. Passive voice provides sneaky persuasion. I had a thought when I first heard that. It's been debunked. Have you been cheating on that blonde at work? It's been debunked. Did you take the cookie from the cookie jar? It's been debunked. Fascinating, isn't it? This is the purpose of Daily Persuasion, to see behind the news, behind the headlines. And you may not have a book title that you're working on or book subtitle that you're workshopping. You might have a blog that you're working on. You might have a business. You might have a personal brand, headlines. But the power of the title and the subtitle combination, where the subtitle is grounded in as much as the facts as you can, and the figures and the information, conveying what exactly is happening here, and then have a title that is hyperbolic, that is over the top, that is bombastic, unlookawayable. It's a powerful lesson to take away from that. Now, what is key is not to lie, not to have a 100% lie, not to have something that is ridiculous, absurd, smearing. I want to use an example here. So good they call you a fake. That's a title of one of my last books. Wait, so good they call you a fake. I don't want to be called a fake, but I do want to be so good. Wait, maybe I do want to be called good, but then I'll be called fake. So what happens is it triggers cognitive dissonance. It's very uncomfortable for a lot of people, but it provokes curiosity. You've got to know more. Now, will you be called a fake every single time you become good at something? No. So it's truthfully hyperbolic. It's directionally accurate. And then the subtitle of the book is specifically what the contents are, right? It says how to become the uncontested authority in your niche. It says how to monetize your talent stack and how to command attention, which you have just learned today. It's called We Do a Little Commanding Attention.